Since the last video, we've continued to bash the WLToys 124019, and a couple things have begun to break. The weakest point, I think, is actually the spoiler here. It lands on the spoiler and on these shock towers, and while going off a ramp, it hit the second ramp, and this part snapped into pieces. For now, I've glued it back together with drywall tape and shoe goo, and it holds well enough, but it's likely to break again. I found on Thingiverse that someone 3D designed a spoiler. If you print this out, I suggest you print it out vertically, and it works well enough, but it's printed in PLA right now, so I have very little faith in this too, and I actually cracked it while taking a jump. I think if you want it to last, it should probably print it in a nylon plastic. The other major points of weakness were that when it lands on its shock towers, I did manage to bend them a little bit, but I bent them back with pliers. They also started to wear on the plastic parts of the shocks. When it lands upside down, it was skidding across and just kind of filing away the plastic. What I've done is I added these little metal washers to take some of that impact away from the plastic. The next thing is, as shown in the last video, the battery kept coming out on really hard hits. So what I've done is I added some Velcro. So added Velcro to the sides and on the body, and also on the underside of the battery. So not only is there a strap around there, but the battery itself now is also Velcroed on. And the final thing, which I want to address in this video, is that while my wife was driving, she hit the curb straight on, and that broke the right axle carrier. And here's the broken one. So this top part fell off, and this bottom part broke off too. I tried gluing it back together. That only survived one little hit from another vehicle before it broke again. Looking at Banggood, the replacement parts are about $12, but they take probably a couple weeks to ship, and I don't want to wait for that. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to design my own and make a video showing how it's done, just so that anyone interested in 3D printing their own parts can get an idea of how much work or how little work it is. I'm not really an expert at Fusion 360, the CAD design software that I used, so this isn't meant to be a tutorial of how to 3D design things, but just more of a general idea of how it's done. I'm pretty happy with the results, and if you look at the original one, which is on this side, there's actually a lot of play in it, and I'm not sure if that's from me crashing it so much, but the new one seems much more solid. There's less wobble in the wheel, but I guess time will tell whether or not that holds to be true. And if I take off, by the way, the tool that it comes with is plastic and slips a lot, so I've been using another one that I have that's metal and is much better. I suggest just use any socket wrench that'll fit, but that original one is pretty bad. So taking off the wheel, you can see this is the original axle carrier. This is the one that I designed based off of the aluminum parts that are available as replacement parts, and then the final one I kind of chamfered it to make it look more like the original. I was thinking that I actually probably don't want it too strong. I do want this to be the part that breaks as opposed to some of the other parts. And let me just take off this other one for comparison to show what the original one looks like on the car. Yep, and we've taken it out and taken some jumps, and it's survived so far, and it looks like it's performing pretty good. Actually, I'm thinking it's better if I end the video right here so that people who are interested in the parts can just grab the files and print them out. Anyone who's actually interested in watching the boring parts where I go through the 3D design and the printing and the fitting and the testing, it's a long process, so I'll cut those into separate videos, and feel free to bypass those and save yourself some boring watching time. In any case, I'll make the files available for download on Thingiverse. If you like this video, please make sure you use our affiliate links and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thanks.